What if I told you that the emergency fund you've been proud of, the one you calculated down to the dollar, the one that's supposed to cover 90 days of expenses, would barely last you 47 days in an actual crisis? Not because you math wrong, not because you're bad with money, but because the formula everyone uses has a fatal blind spot built right into it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that blind spot is, and more importantly, the framework to fix it before you actually need it. Here's the thing that nobody talks about when they tell you to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Your monthly expenses during normal times look nothing like your expenses during crisis times. They're two completely different numbers. Think about it. When you calculate your 90-day reserve, you're probably looking at your current spending: rent, groceries, utilities, maybe your car payment, and some subscriptions. You take that monthly number, multiply it by 3, and boom. There's your emergency fund, done. Feels good, right? Except here's what actually happens when the crisis hits. Let's say you lose your job, or you get hit with a medical emergency, or your car dies and you need it for work. Within the first 2 weeks, your spending pattern changes dramatically. And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff like cutting Netflix. First hidden cost, COBRA or health insurance out of pocket. If you had employer-sponsored health insurance and you lose your job, replacing that coverage costs the average millennial between $400 and $700 more per month than what was being deducted from your paycheck. You were maybe paying $150 a month for your portion. Now you're paying $800 or more. That's a $650 delta that just appeared in your budget overnight. Second hidden cost, job search expenses. This one catches people off guard. Resume services, interview clothes, travel for interviews, networking events, potentially a career coach. The average job search for a millennial right now takes about 5 months. And during that time, you're spending money to find money. Conservatively, $200 to $400 a month that you weren't spending before. Third hidden cost, lifestyle lag. This is the sneaky one. When you lose income, you don't instantly lose all the obligations tied to that income. You've got annual subscriptions that just renewed. You've got a vacation you already paid for that's non-refundable. You've got that wedding you committed to attending with hotel and flights already booked. You can cancel some things, but not everything. And those fixed costs keep draining your reserve while you're scrambling to cut the variable ones. Fourth hidden cost, the convenience premium. When you're in crisis mode, you're stressed, you're exhausted, you're spending all your energy on solving the big problem, which means you start paying for convenience in ways you never did before. More takeout because you don't have time to cook. Uber rides because you're running late to interviews. Paying for faster shipping because you need something now. Nobody budgets for the convenience premium, but it can add $300 to $500 a month to your spending. So let's add this up. Your normal monthly expenses, let's call them $3,500. That's pretty average for a millennial. You multiply by 3, you get $10,500, your 90-day fund. But in crisis mode, health insurance jump plus $650, job search costs plus $300, lifestyle lag plus $200, convenience premium plus $350. That's an extra $1,500 a month. Your new monthly burn rate isn't $3,500, it's $5,000, and suddenly your 90-day fund covers 63 days, not 90, 63. But wait, it gets worse, because I haven't even mentioned the big one yet. During a crisis, something breaks or goes wrong at exactly the wrong time. Your car needs repairs. Your laptop dies, and you need it for job applications. You have an emergency room visit with a deductible. The average unexpected expense during a crisis period is $2,300. That's not included in your monthly burn rate calculation. That's a one-time hit that comes out of nowhere. Subtract that from your fund on day 1, and now your $10,500 is $80,000. Wait, let me do this right. $10,500 minus $2,300 leaves you with $8,200. Divide by your crisis burn rate of $5,000 a month. That's 1.64 months, 49 days, 49 days. Your 90-day fund just became a 49-day fund, close to that 47 number I mentioned at the start. Now I know what you're thinking. Great, so I'm screwed no matter what. But that's not what this is about. This is about building your reserve the right way so that when the crisis comes, and statistically it will, you're actually prepared. Here's the framework. I call it the crisis multiplier method. Step 1. Calculate your true baseline. Not your aspirational budget. Not your optimized budget. Your actual average monthly spending over the last 3 months. Look at your bank statements. Every transaction. The real number. Not the number you tell yourself. Step 2. Add the crisis premium. Take your true baseline and multiply it by 1.4. That 40% accounts for health insurance gaps, job search costs, lifestyle lag, and the convenience premium. Is 40% exact? No. But it's conservative enough to cover most scenarios without being so aggressive that you never start. Step 3. Add the catastrophe buffer. This is a flat $2,500 added on top of your multiplied monthly total. This covers that inevitable one-time expense that hits during the worst possible moment. If you can't do $2,500, start with $1,000. Something is better than nothing. Step 4. Multiply by your actual timeline, not some arbitrary number. The average job search for millennials is 5 months. The average medical recovery that keeps you out of work is 3 to 4 months. If you want to be honest with yourself, you should be targeting 5 months of crisis-level expenses, not 3 months of normal expenses. So let's run the real math. True baseline, $3,500, times 1.4, $4,900, times 5 months, $24,500, plus catastrophe buffer, $27,000. I know, $27,000 sounds terrifying. But here's what's more terrifying. Being 6 weeks into a crisis and realizing your money is gone. You don't need to have $27,000 tomorrow. You need a target that reflects reality so you can build toward it intentionally. Start with a 1-month crisis fund. That's $4,900, then 2 months, then 3. Each milestone you hit is real protection, not the illusion of protection. And one more thing. Most financial advice treats your emergency fund as separate from your insurance decisions. But they're connected. If you have proper disability insurance, your crisis timeline shortens. If you have a high-deductible health plan paired with an HSA, your catastrophe buffer can partially live in a tax-advantaged account. The point is, optimizing your insurance can reduce the size of the emergency fund you actually need. The takeaway here isn't to panic. It's to be honest. The 90-day reserve advice isn't wrong because 3 months is bad. It's wrong because it uses the wrong monthly number. It calculates normal in a world that gives you crisis. Fix the math. Use the crisis multiplier. And build toward a number that actually protects you when you need it most. If you want to go deeper on building a financial system that actually works for real life, I put together a free guide that walks through this framework step by step with actual worksheets. It's linked below. No email required. Just grab it and use it. And if you found this helpful, there's more where this came from. Take care of your money so it can take care of you.